okay, you have to stop being so critical of me. I have feelings too. So, in case you haven't noticed, I heard you out there complaining that, oh, isn't he wearing the same sweatshirt that he wore yesterday? Yes, and I'm not taking it off till we win the national championship. That's a tradition that was started by my father, who was a quarterback in college on a football scholarship. He was the captain of his team at Butler, but he was always a big Notre Dame fan. So when he went in for his open heart surgery, he had his Notre Dame shirt on, and they wanted him to take it off, and he said, I'm not taking this off until Notre Dame loses, because, like all Irishmen, he was superstitious. So I'm carrying on that tradition. We're going all the way. And if you want to hear me talk sometime about the sign scandal, I'm going to do that another day. I'm not going to do it right now. I need to calm down first. But the reality is, as long as they're winning, who cares? I don't care, and you shouldn't care, and you shouldn't rag on me for wearing my Michigan sweatshirt, which I'm going to wear until we win the national championship. And if we don't win the national championship before I die, I'm going to be buried in this shirt. What do you mean end soon? You know, I knew I shouldn't let Republicans in here. Ever since you became Speaker of the House, you've been nothing but annoying. You're here every day, whether we're doing this thing or not, because you want the free food, because I saw about your finances, and I'm sorry for you, Mr. Johnson, if that's your real name. But, you know, stop picking on me. I'm old, I'm sensitive, I'm not young and callow like you are, young and callow fellow. That's from a song. What is that song from? Oh, it's from... When I was a young and callow fellow, tired to remember the time of September, when grass was grain and grain was yellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow, 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 follow. My recollection is correct. That was from The Fantastics, which is a fantastic play. So, and how did I get off on that? Try to remember? That's what I like to do, is try to remember. Hello! Not easy being me. Bill Palms, who was my former boss and a wonderful human being, he used to tell me all the time, he'd say, you know what? Growing old is not for sissies. And he was right. I'm no sissy. I'm growing old. I know I don't look it, and I'm not going to either. So don't push me. Don't push me around. That goes for you too, Johnson, and your other Republicans. I saw you brought a number of your friends in. Newt Gingrich, how the hell did he get in there? Hi, Newt, how you doing? So anyway, we're friends, even though we argue on politics. You know, a lot of my friends are Republicans. So enough of that nonsense. Why am I here? Well, this is again serious business, and I don't want to harp on it. And I don't know what really I can add, but I saw today what's going on in that hospital in Gaza City. Again, halls lined with little toddler children. That Israel is bombing the hospital because underneath the hospital they claim there's tunnels, and there's Hamas people running around underneath those tunnels. I don't care what justification they may make. There's no justification for killing little children. And it's all I can tell you is that it makes me sick to my stomach. Am I sick about the Hamas going in and killing those Jews? Men, women, children, cutting people's heads off. That's what they say they did. It's disgusting. The whole thing is disgusting on both sides. You know, when Donald Trump said there's plenty of good people on both sides. Well, in this case, there's plenty of bad people on both sides. And I don't know what more I can say about it, except I hope that the American people are keeping an eye on what's actually going on there and not paying attention to the propaganda from one side or the other, but trying to get an honest appraisal of what's happening. And, you know, hopefully at some point in time, this thing will straighten its way out. But somebody's got to we have to start getting tough with Israel. And I don't know when we're going to do it, but unless we do, this is going to continue on. And I don't know how this thing is supposed to end. I just don't know. The problem is there's not enough land. You've got 15 million people shoved into a tiny area, which is half the size of New Jersey. 5 of those million, of the 50 million people are living in the West Bank and Gaza. There's very little land, and it's an intolerable, inhumane situation. Before all this broke out, it was an intolerable, inhumane situation. So I don't know what's going to happen. All I can say is I hope that all of you are paying attention to the specifics of what's going on in this war, and not just siding with one side or the other. So that's all I want to say about it now. It's frankly it's too upsetting to be talking about now. But I'm going to revisit this issue, and hopefully maybe I'll have some ideas that, of course, will never be implemented, because my Republican friends who are sitting in here with me, and I don't know how they got in. But I welcome you, but you're not going to do anything because you're Republicans, and so you don't want to alienate the preachers in the South any more than they're already being alienated on this whole abortion thing, and the Republicans dancing around trying to figure out how are we going to thread this needle. So they're pulling away from these preachers. That's making them mad. Now what are they going to do in Israel? Because the big push for Israel in the South has to do with the fact that the preachers and what they find in the Bible about the right of Israel to, which is God's country and was given to them by God. So it's a mess. And I really hate to end a program by saying it's a mess, because that's obvious, and I'm not really making any positive contribution. So you know what? I'm just going to shut up, and I'm going to think about all these things, and maybe I'll come back with something more of substance to say in the future. In the meantime, I'd like you to be thinking about this too, except of course for you, Mr. Johnson, you have to worry about not shutting down the government, but I'm talking about my friends out there who are not political. I'd like them to think about these things. So I'm going to bed. I'm going to dream about Michigan winning the national championship of the world. Bye.